everybody, welcome back to another episode of this podcast called Funny Girl Abroad. I am the in question Funny Girl Abroad. My name is Liki. I live in Greece. No, I don't live in Greece anymore. I don't know why I said that. I do not live in Greece. I don't know. I don't want people searching for me. I don't want people to believe that I'm lying. I don't want anybody poking around my parents' house. Don't do that. I am not there, I promise. I'm just stupid and I forget where I live and how to answer questions. Would that be amazing? Can you imagine if that was true? If I actually was doing this whole thing about being abroad and talking about, and everything is just from my head, and I'm actually in a room, in my childhood room, and I've just redecorated a corner. That would be also, it can be green screen. I should switch stuff around just to prove that this is not actually green screen. So what was I talking about? What did I want to say? Right. It has to be something about where I actually am, since I'm not at home. I am in Sweden. I'm in Stockholm. I'm gonna say this once, and if you never hear from me again, we can all assume that stuff has been set in motion. Stockholm is not a real place. I don't think it really exists. I think it's been set up every morning at maybe, 4 or 5 a.m. Everything's set up and the city runs until evening, and then everything just gets completely dismantled, put in many boxes and stacked in some IKEA back room. The first time I saw Stockholm in my life, I looked around and I thought to myself, I don't think this place really exists. Does this sound stupid? For sure. And I must have changed my mind, right? Because I've been here for a few years now, and I've seen it over a period of time. I've seen people working, I've worked myself. I've seen stuff. And you'd expect that I would have changed my mind, but I'm still not sold on it 100% that this is a real place. First of all, it's very clean. Everything's clean. The streets are clean. They've just been washed off, just like in movie sets. So what is this? Completely fake. Of course, cleanness is a good thing. It's really nice to have things be clean and tidy and pretty. But not for a city. The city, that's the whole point of it. That's the selling point of it, that it's a mess. You go to the city because you want to be a little bit in the chaos, right? That's the whole, I don't know what is this kind of thing, but just so you know, I did a very interesting move with my body right now, but I don't want to talk about ever again. Just don't ask me. A city has to be a little bit disastrous. It has to be a mess. It has to be a little bit chaotic, a little bit of a health and safety hazard. That's how, I don't say that this is the good thing and the nice thing. I just say this is the normal thing. Do you know how you can tell that the city is a little bit of a mess? Okay, here's how. I figured it out. People always say that it looks majestic at night. When it's night, you can't see it very clearly, right? You don't see the stuff, you don't see the cigarettes, you don't see stuff, right? And people go like, oh my God, Athens by night. Oh, it's magical. Right? That's how you know this is a real city. It's kind of a mess. This cleanness is unnatural. You go walk down the street. I remember looking at those ashtrays. There's ashtrays in the street. Ashtrays in the street. You know the thing that you use for. Why am I explaining ashtrays? I'm the one who doesn't know what words mean. Most people listening probably do. But yeah. Why? I haven't seen ashtrays in a city before on the street. If you are in the city, the common sense says that the city is your ashtray, the whole place, right? Everything that the light can set upon, everything touched by the wind. may become your Astri. You see Simba, everything the sun touches one day will be there for you to throw a cigarette at. It made me wonder really, what is this thing that I have this expectation from a city, but just because it's a city, it also has to be a bit of a mess. Like it's part of the definition of being a city, a place that is chaotic, health and safety hazard, horrible for you in every way. So it's my expectation of a city to be kind of horrible. Is it too much to ask? And then you have the people that are walking by the street. People living in Stockholm, and they're walking in their lanes for the most part, looking straight ahead. The signature cold, between shy and robotic kind of attitude, charming demeanor, and they're dressed, how should I say this? They're very put together. Okay, people are put together and they're dressed in black. I guess that's the way to say it. Yeah, it's a color I was looking for. They're dressed in dark clothes for the most part. So people have, it's almost like there's a uniform for everybody in Stockholm, but you're required to have a black coat or a jacket. If you want to have color, it has to be this kind of, how should I say, hiking color. You know, the color that it's like you bought this thing 20 years ago and now it's been washed out. That's the thing that's left. This is the color that you're gonna use. You know what colors I mean? It's like burgundy, used to be red, mustard, used to be yellow, pine green, used to be green, etc., etc. It's every color but with black on it, in it. Yeah. So there's this general sense of uniformity. And it's so funny because it reminds me of this kind of trend that I've seen online, which is about like wearing clothes that are a little bit neutral in order to look more rich. So like black, white, beige, just this, something, the most boring possible clothes will make you, that's the idea. The idea is that if you dress really, really boring, if you wear very neutral clothes, you're gonna look more rich. Which makes some sense, I suppose, because it has this like timeless classic aspect to it. But when you have everybody doing this thing, you just look like very, very communistic actually. It looks like this is the one jacket that exists in the market of this country. And it's so funny because everyone is dressing, a little bit snob, but then as a group, everybody looks like that was their coat that was given to them by the state. So that's not clothes, this is costumes. This has been decided and curated by a costume department, by a set design team. There is an artistic signature here. Somebody chose those clothes, put them on the people, let them people out. They match each other, they match the buildings. It's curated, it's fixed. Let's think about the attitude, the vibe. How does it feel when you're walking in the city? What's the atmosphere like? What is the energy that people are exchanging with each other and with the city as a whole? Oh wow, I'm going really, really deep now. So how does this feel? Well, it feels kind of cold and vaguely nice. There's a sense of niceness, coldness, a sense of grayness, which perfectly matches the visual aspect of it. Again, things curated. I'm not gonna tell you the answers here. I'm not gonna overpower your ability to think critically. I don't want to do this. I just want to lay the facts and let you decide, like this nice guy did in the documentary about aliens that was on Netflix recently. So does this mean that those people are not real people and they're just actors? Just walking around, reacting with a script? Again, I'm not going to give you an answer, but go and talk to somebody. Go and say hello to somebody. You will see in their face this exact look that is like, oh, who am I and what would my character do? They have this surprise, anxiety, not just question marks, anxiety, like, who am I? What's my character? What would my character do in this scenario? They're looking, they're going through the instructions to figure out what's the appropriate reaction. That's the thing, people are not shy. People in Stockholm, in Sweden, they're not shy. They just don't have the script for everything. Another thing that I've noticed is that there is no money. Where is the money? Where's all the money? I'm sorry. People are always so happy to say that they're financially well off in those countries. I don't know. Let me tell you, I haven't seen a single coin from the whole time. I don't know what's going on. What is it? Where are all the money? I think maybe somebody robbed all of the money many years ago, just took everything and left, and then went to Estonia or something, and there's been no money ever since. And we're just all playing pretend money. What we do is we just go around with our phones and we pretend to use money, and we just like flip our cards and our phones and pretend like as if that's money, but I don't think it's real money. I think it's just points for what are we exchanging? What is this thing that I get paid and I pay from? Because it's not money. Could be money, but I don't know this for a fact. Maybe we're just liking each other's bank account by blipping. Every time you blip your card, it probably goes to a big building where there's many lights and some lights on, and there is an old guy with a notebook that just writes down how much money this would normally be if there were any money left. The currency is called kronas, and it's crown, that's the word, crown. What do you get paid in? Crowns, like the hat, so we get paid in crowns. Come on now, this can't be real. This is definitely a joke. This is just a random object that sounds vaguely important and valuable. Maybe there are real crowns, I don't know, maybe they're flower crowns, like the ones we have on Midsummer. You just take those crowns and you exchange them. I think this country has been running on NFTs since like the 90s, but nobody wants to admit it. Nobody wants to say it, and we just pretend that there's crowns involved. Yes, what I'm trying to get at with this whole thing is that there is something about life here that feels slightly unnatural, however really, really comfortable. And I don't know, I think it's a weird notion that I have, that a lot of people have, that when something gets really comfortable, then it somehow is not so human or not so real. It stops being real. And I think that's such a weird notion. But it definitely makes sense with how we feel, just as feeling. And life in Scandinavia is definitely, in a way, comfortable. There's a lot of there are a lot of systems that are set up, that are in place to make sure that things are efficient or, comfortable. Again, that you have a nice experience of things. And so, well, when you look at this and when you leave this, you get a feeling that shouldn't be. There's something wrong. You're supposed to get a little bit upset. You're supposed to have a bad experience out of dealing with so and so. It's supposed to be bad. Okay, you're supposed to get stressed as you walk in the city. It's supposed to be, it's not supposed to be that relaxed and easy. And I don't, that's so weird that we think that. But I know for sure I think that. And I remember having this feeling that so many things are unnatural and fake. And it's such a weird sense. On the one side, being a little bit jealous and envious and like, I want that. I want to be part of this group and have this life and be comfortable in that way and like just not care and expect everything to have it as an expectation that everything is taken care of instead of being stressed all the time and being weirdly surprised and overly thankful every time everything is taken care of for me. So I want to be like that, but at the same time, it's weird. I don't want to. If I become like that, I'm gonna be bad somehow. I'm gonna be a worse person. When things get easier and more comfortable, something rots inside, somewhere deep inside of me. That is what I apparently believe. I didn't know I believed that. I didn't know I believed that yesterday. I figured out I apparently do today. Because I've been going on and on about this whole thing about why everything feels fake, and hey, here's what I ended up with. And it's the stupidest things. It's the weirdest tiny things, the ashtrays, the water. Oh my God, that was a shock. The more north you go in Europe, water starts acquiring preferences, you know? You have water with bubbles, without bubbles. That's Germany. Bubbles, no bubbles. The amount of tastes in the water is ridiculous. There is tastes, fruits, vegetables, combinations of different fruits. You can have water strawberry, you can have water pomegranate, you can have water strawberry and pomegranate together, because maybe you're drinking your water and you feel like, oh, the strawberry is too much strawberries and the pomegranate is too red, and like, why do we have to choose, right? You shouldn't have to choose. There should be able to exist a solution. In a civilized society, you should never ask from a human to pick between pomegranate and strawberry for their water. People have the right to a pomegranate strawberry combo when it comes to their hydration, okay? And the only reason I make so much fun of that is because I am the first to fall for this. I remember it was the first thing that I was like, okay, this is too much. And now I went to a different supermarket the day before yesterday because they didn't have my strawberry pomegranate combo water that I like. So I guess what we end up with is that I did end up in this situation, but I am actually part of this, life that I was envying and also dreading at the same time. I realized this when I got my water. So, I guess that's it for today. Fellow Stockholmers, let me know why you disagree with me. I'm not even gonna bother saying if you disagree or if you agree. I know you disagree, but why is a better question to ask in this case. And thank you so much for watching, and see you later. See you next week. Bye-bye.